Hello, this is Cody with That Tech Family, here to bring you another Fortnite video. This video is going to be about how you can allow your kids to play Fortnite safely. Now, I know that's probably something a lot of people are going to be confused by because after all it is a game involving guns and shooting. But let's just talk about what Fortnite is and we'll get into how you can play the game safely with your children. So, Fortnite is a battle royale game, which means there's 100 people fighting for survival. Battle royale is basically a last man standing type game where you have to scavenge around the world looking for loot and ammo, weapons, healing products, and resources for building. So Fortnite's a little bit different than other battle royale games like Call of Duty, Blackout, whereas you can build your own fort. You can build walls and ramps. I'll show you all of that later on in this video, but basically it's very unique. It has a high skill cap, which means there's a lot of skill involved, so you can learn and you can get better. Anybody can get better if they play it more often. However, I'm going to show how kids can play, and that might not really be, a big factor because they're not going to be competing against other players. And I'll show you how to achieve that. Fortnite, I'm sure everybody's heard about it. If you haven't, it's one of the biggest games in the world. It's so big that Netflix is claiming that they're hurting their bottom line. They're losing revenue because they're competing with Fortnite for screen time. They're trying to compete with a video game that everybody plays. I mean, there's millions of concurrent players worldwide at all times. It's a hugely popular game. Something important to note about Fortnite is that it is free. And while it is free, they do make their revenue by selling skins, and skins are just different outfits you can wear in the game. They're purely cosmetic. They don't grant any special powers or any benefits to people who buy them. They're just for looks, so they are not important to have. You do not need to have them. They're just something extra that you can buy. However, that's not important. What's important is how can you play a game or allow your children to play a game that is rated for 12 and over. The PEGI rating for this game is 12 and over, like I said. But there are ways that you can play with younger kids. I mean, my daughter, she's 6 years old. I don't let her play with others. I let her play in playground mode, and that's what we're going to dive into. So I'll get started and I'll show you what I mean. So let's see. What we do is we go into, you start out and you're in the lobby. You just go over here where it says this is the game mode that's currently selected. You go here and you click on playground. Okay? Now this is the important part. You want to make sure it says don't fill. Don't fill means it will not allow other players in the game. So it'll just be your child. It'll be one person playing by themselves. Now playground mode is something that's new. Well, it's newer. It's an area where it's basically sandbox mode where you can go and you can do whatever you want all over the world by yourself or with others. However, we have it on don't fill, so there won't be other people in the game. My daughter likes to go in and just destroy buildings with her pickaxe. The pickaxe is a weapon that you get that you can use to harvest resources for building. There are guns that spawn around the world, but that's something you can decide on if you want your children to mess around with those or not. But my daughter, she generally doesn't see them or mess with them. She just walks around destroying buildings, and she just thinks it's the funnest thing. And she thinks it's funny that she can just go and break down people's buildings and furniture and stuff. So I'll show you all of that. The other mode is creative mode, which is new, and this is where you can build rather than destroy. You can design different games, different worlds. It's pretty neat. I'll dive into that next, but let's first look at playground mode. So let's see, you get these options that you can choose. So you can go through and you can see like fall damage. I would turn that off in case your kid climbs up a mountain and falls off and dies, which again, the dying on this game isn't graphic. There isn't any blood. It's more of an animated game. So if you fall off and die, I mean, you will fall and your character basically disappears and then comes back. They respawn. Something also important to note is that this game is free. I think I mentioned that earlier, and that's probably why it's so popular. And I mean, I know it's popular because when I play it and my daughter has friends over, they see it and they want to watch, or they say that their brothers or sisters play it, or their fathers or mothers, whatever. Everybody I know knows about this game or plays it. So any of this stuff you can change if you want. The gravity option is kind of fun. Kids think that's kind of fun because you can jump and float away essentially. But what you want to do next is, after you got playground mode, make sure you have it on don't fill and hit accept. Then you just hit play and see it says right here, playground don't fill. So that means I will be by myself in this game. Alright, so we'll just wait for the game to load. Alright, this is the lobby is what they call it, or the loading area when we wait for the game to start. Let's see, there's guns that spawn here, but most of the time, see, you only have a few seconds and then now you're back. And now you have to jump out of this bus and land where you want in this giant world. So we're just going to land the first place we can, so I can just show you kind of how this game works. And then how you can allow your children to play safely. And again, I mean, it's up to parents if they would like their kids to play or not, but I'm just trying to show that it is possible to play this game and not, you know, run around with guns shooting other players. You can play by yourself completely. I mean, I'm in this giant world all by myself right now. So basically how it works, like I said, you have a pickaxe and you can chop down trees and you can essentially destroy anything in this world, including signs, rocks. You know, you destroy rocks to get brick for building. You destroy trees to get lumber, and you can destroy anything metal like cars to get metal. And you can build with that. You can build these ramps. You can build a little fort. And you know, sometimes kids like that, they think it's cool. You know, my daughter likes to go around and just destroy things, so she does build little things where she'll go and like build something that's just like a long walkway or a bunch of walls or like little forts here and there. But you know, there's other things they can do, like ride around in a golf cart. There's four-wheelers, there's airplanes they can fly around in. You know, there's a lot of things you can do in this game that's totally innocent. You know, that's the goal here, is to play the game in a non-violent way. In case your kids, you know, they really want to check it out. And you know, it is fun. And if you wanted, you could play, if you have other consoles, if you have a PlayStation and a computer, either your kid or you could play on the PlayStation and the other can play on the computer, and you can play together. You just have to add the friend. You go to your friends, you click add.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
I guess I triggered Alexa there, sorry. So you just go in and you just hit add friends, and you can type in whoever the person is that you're adding, and you can play with them right away if you wanted. But yeah, like you can destroy anything in the world. You can go into the houses and destroy the furniture and stuff. My daughter gets a kick out of that. You know, that's really all there is. You can go through and destroy things, or you can build. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with your kids, or what you would like. You know, it's up to them, I guess, if they play. But again, I mean, it's an empty world. you can go and explore. Let's see if we go. If I can learn how to drive here, I will show you. My daughter wants to do this too. She'll get in, and hopefully she's a better driver than me. But she will just kind of cruise around the world because it is a giant world. There's a lot of different things to look at, a lot of cool little things that happen. And then over here we have a winter area. There's also a desert area down here, and there's the winter area. So we're gonna go that way and go see the winter area. People love to hang around in. There's planes that are all over the place, and we'll go over there and be playing it. You know what? Actually, we can just respawn and fly over there really quick. This is a glider is what it's called, and in playground mode you can respawn. So I mean it's just kind of like a fun place just to play around, you know, goof around in the game, you know. And if you wanted to keep your kids away from some of the players, I mean, and have them play with their friends, like you can add them again up here. You just add friends, enter their display name or their email, so you just have to find out how they spell their name, and you can add them, and then you invite them to your game. And if you have, you know, you can do 4 players on a team, and you come in here and you can select different teams if you wanted. It'll be an option right here that will say select team or change team, and you can choose a different team if you guys wanted to play against each other. So like that's another option if you were playing, if you have an older kid that maybe plays the game and is having a hard time winning or doing anything in the game, because there is a very competitive component to this game. It is very hard to play against other players because a lot of people take it seriously, and then there's pro players and different streamers that play. So it is very competitive, and it is, I will admit, it was hard for me to start and play this game, and playground mode is where I learned how to get better, because you can just do anything in here. See, this is the winter area. There's different planes and stuff that spawn in different areas, like over here there's a plane, and I guess I'll just show you guys. There's zip lines, just different little things that people can play around with if they just want to relax and play the game and not worry about getting attacked, or, you know, the violent aspect where, you know, shooting each other with guns. So I mean, that's the goal here, is to show you how you can play this game without, you know, the violence of shooting the guns and the grenades and all that stuff. So here's some planes. Here are some planes. Let me quickly show you. Let's see, you can fly in a plane if you want. Which is pretty cool. How big this world is. They can do anything. They can just walk around and explore all day. My daughter loves to explore because there's so much to look at, and she's really not into video games as much as you know, boys, like as I was as a boy, of course, because I don't know, I'm a nerd, and I don't think she's as nerdy, but you know, she does like to play Fortnite, and sometimes we play together and we build little houses together and basically play house in Fortnite. It's pretty cute, really. It's you should get a kick out of that. 'Cause you can build a big house if you wanted. So, I mean, that's really it. There's my plane. It just went up in the air again. But like, we'll build like a little house. Well, I guess my plane just ruined that idea. It's so funny. Put a door here. Put a roof on top. It's my little porch. It's kind of like Minecraft if you do it this way, I guess. Alright, let's get out and see what it looks like. Need a foundation. That's my brick house, and this is something we would build together and we would just play in, and just, I mean, it's, you can't like build furniture or anything, but she thinks it's fun. We just use our imagination and just pretend like there's, you know, nothing going on. But the world does change. Like the sun does move, and if it's nighttime, you know, it can become nighttime, and there will be like a full moon and stuff. So she thinks that's really cool too, and like it's, you know, I don't know, it's fun for her. But let's go check out creative mode really quick, and I will show you how that works. Creative mode is a tad bit more difficult, but really I don't think it's anything out of any kid's grasp. I'll show you how that works. So you just go here. This is where you change your game mode. So we're gonna go to creative, and we want to avoid solo, duos, squads. We want to avoid these, team rumble and one shot. These are all game modes where there's other players playing. So we'll go to creative, and we will hit play, and we want to go to start a server. Alright, let's wait for this to load, and we will get into it. Alright, creative mode does take a tad bit longer to load, because it's just a bigger mode, I guess. So you can go here and you can set the destination if you want. This is just like a big area. These are different levels that different worlds people have created. I would avoid those because they are more of a challenge. They're usually obstacle courses. So what you want to do is you can go here and you can create different worlds. Just go with an island, wait for it to load. I've created different obstacle courses that her and I like to run through and just kind of goof around. But you know, it's basically a blank area where you can build anything you want. So, let's see, it's just a big blank area, a big empty world. So what we're going to do is you can build just different things. Like if I wanted to build a castle, I just go into my inventory, and there's two different inventories. You can do the play, which is just your game inventory, like weapons and stuff, which we don't care about right now. But you can go here to the prefabricated, which is just different buildings, devices, there's gonna be guns in here and stuff, but you can do bounce pads and golf carts and planes and four-wheelers if you wanted. You want to avoid the weapons. These things let you can throw these, they create like little castles, basically little forts. But let me just show you how some of this works. So we'll equip that too. So go ahead and throw that out there and see what it looks like. So see, it's gonna build what I threw out, and it's just like this block. It's like a city block, complete with everything inside. So this is like a pork store or a butcher or something. Yeah, pretty neat. And then a little castle over there, a big one. Yeah. So, and you can play around. You can also fly in this mode, but I mean, it's something you can just play around with. You can build different things. It's pretty neat. My daughter likes to build different houses and stuff, because you can go down, and I mean, there's all kinds of things you can build. And then if you wanted to just play around in it, you can go to My Island. You can set time limits. If you just want your kid to play for a few minutes, you can. Or you can do it, set it to none, and hit start game. And then you can just run around in it. If you do hit start game, though, you can only build your typical wall and ramp and floor type Fortnite buildings, you know, like stuff like this. You can only build this when you hit play game. You're no longer the creator, you're actually in the game playing, and you can run around and explore whatever world you just created. And all you do is you go back to My Island and you can hit in game, and that puts it back to where you can create stuff. I mean, it's just something fun, and it's more appropriate for kids than going in the game and dealing with all the guns and everything. So yeah. So there is a, oh wow, I built on top of that. That's crazy. So there is another game out there that I've seen that's an alternative to Fortnite. It's called Roblox, and there are different games inside Roblox that are like modifications for Fortnite. Whoa, it's dark in here. Where am I? So I'll show you that right now. So I found this. So there's a little disclaimer here. I've played, there's a lot of different mods, different games that people have created in Roblox for Fortnite. Something I will say is that there are weapons in these. There aren't any playground modes or creative modes, just in the original game of Fortnite. But these are free to play. However, I've noticed in-game, if you wanted certain guns or certain skins, they do sell them. I haven't purchased any just because I don't understand the concept behind it. I don't play this with my daughter because she's too young, and there are guns in these games again. So, like, let's just check one out really quick and you'll see what I mean. So we'll hit play, and I downloaded the Roblox application. So now I'm in, and this is kind of what you get. It's like a generic, low quality, but free Fortnite. See, but there are guns involved. And I'm not sure. Yeah, so this would be something that I would not let my daughter play because there are guns in it and they are pretty realistic looking, and you're shooting somebody, you know, somebody that you can shoot at. And you can't build anything. It's kind of just a low quality world with guns. So I don't know a whole lot about it. It's just a low quality. I guess it's a little bit safer for anybody that might have around the age of 9 or 10. Anybody under 12, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. It's play at your discretion. And they do have items in here that you can buy, but I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's because I know in Fortnite 2,000 V-Bucks is $20, so I'm not sure. I don't recommend it, but let's check out. There's a whole bunch of different ones. So, I mean, this is one that I found earlier that's a low quality one. I mean, they tell you the stats on each one, how many players are in it, in the ratings. But yeah. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know what happened. Evidently I fell. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Okay, so this is something I wanted to show though, is that in these games you'll see weapons on the ground, and when you go to pick them up they will say you have to pay for them. See, you need 339 more Robux to buy a legendary RPG product. Would you like to buy it? So it looks like they sell Robux to buy to buy items in Roblox. I don't know. That's not something I would want to do. I don't even know the buttons. And it looks like they're having a legendary scar sale. So yeah, I mean they're just like little worlds people have created to entertain people and make money. But I mean, you can see the ratings here: 80%, 40% approval rating. People vote on what they like, and these are how many people are in the game: 356, 89 people. So I mean, there are people that play these, and it's probably a good alternative for kids around the 9, 10, 11, 12 range if you don't want them to play regular Fortnite. But yeah, I mean, Fortnite's very popular. It's something that you hear on the radio and in the news. I see articles in Forbes about it all the time. My daughter's friends, you know, they always talk about it. You know, my daughter likes to play it, but again, playground mode is your friend. Creative mode is your friend. And you just gotta make sure you hit don't fill. If you hit fill and you hit accept, you're gonna be playing with other players, and there are microphones, and there can be some bad language, and it's just something I would avoid completely. I would hate to see my daughter accidentally do that. So I always make sure I help her before she plays. I get the game set up for her, and then I just let her play, and she loves to just wander around the world, and she feels cool, like she's included on something that's trendy and popular for kids of all ages and adults. So yeah, again, this is Cody with That Tech Family. If this was helpful, leave a like. Leave any comments below, any feedback. If you have any ideas on videos you'd like for me to do, please give me your suggestions and follow us on social media. I'll put some links down below in the description for Roblox, for Fortnite if you'd like to download it. It's completely free. You know, anything that you need, please just feel free to reach out. And I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.